Teflon coatings are a premium product and they sell for a premium price. More Teflon coating jobs should mean more margin for you. So, today on Deliver More, we have the guys giving advice on how to sell your customers on your most expensive coating, Teflon, to make you more money. Welcome to a brand new Deliver More episode with me, your host, Francesca, with Intech MKT. And much more importantly, are our gurus, our guests, Mike Patterson and Chris Lord, who we know and love as Wolfy from Fluorogistx. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Quite an introduction. Thank you.
Yeah.
Brain trust gurus, you do it all. We've been hitting some technical episodes lately, guys. We've been talking about head-to-head coatings. We're working on some troubleshooting stuff that's going to be coming out soon. But this one takes everyone down a slightly different path. We're deviating a bit into giving advice on how to talk about Teflon for a job. So, knowing that, the first question I have is, who's going to benefit from this episode? Like, in your opinion, Mike, who should be listening, and why is it that you think this topic should be covered?
Who would benefit most from this sort of episode? Anybody on our customer side. Typically, it's going to be a salesperson from a Fluorogistx customer who is going to be talking to probably a purchasing agent, or if it's a big company, or a direct contact that they have with whomever they're doing the coding work for on their end.
Let's be blunt, very honest here. Teflon is expensive, and, price increase that just came out obviously kind of hits that line home. So what challenges do your customers, the actual coders, face because of Teflon's price or even perception as an expensive or premium product? Wolfy?
Our coders don't live in that low cost space just because of all the, the application knowledge and capabilities they have. So, in a lot of cases, what that creates is, the prospect running around, now they're shopping the job, which really kind of identifies that maybe that prospect doesn't know much about Teflon. So now your opportunity either is just floating or it's just sitting there on your desk. You're like, I talked to this guy, but haven't heard back from him because he was going to look for other opportunities. So,
when I think about the price of Teflon and how it's positioned as a premium product and the challenges that creates for our customers, I think there's really two things that this comes back to in my mind. The first one being is our customers really need to have a solid understanding of what value the coating is providing for their customers. So they need to understand, like, ultimately, what are the pain points that it's trying to solve, and then being able to articulate that, okay, well, if we put this coating on, it's going to provide what? Like, what's the home run for the ultimate user? Is it reduced waste? Is it better efficiency? Is it better product quality? Whatever it might be, you have to dig to get to those answers. And because Teflon is a unique, high-performing solution, if you don't know the pain points and the associated value that the coating's provided, you're going to have a hard time positioning it as a premium product.
So we know that there are challenges with Teflon being a premium price product. Are there any benefits to having it as a top shelf coating?
It kind of relates back to what I said previously is, Teflon's reputation kind of precedes itself. I mean, those that are in the industry or they have, utilized Teflon coatings in the past, they know it's not an inexpensive option, but they also realize the value that they're getting from the coating as well. The efficiency gains and lack of maintenance required, or, the long life cycles and stuff like that. One thing it does do as well, I think, if you're trying to quote somebody and they don't know it's a top shelf coating, it sorts those guys out real fast. That they're not serious or they're not in the know and they're not a prospect for you.
Right. Kind of separates what's the phrase? The wheat from the chaff kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Tire kickers.
Yep. Yeah, I think there's a couple of other benefits, and it really comes down to the infrastructure that we have on that goes along with the Teflon product line. So specifically, the years of experience that we have at Fluorogistx to help our customers with product selection, application, troubleshooting, any of those things, whether we're doing it remotely or on site, like all that sort of stuff is free. So take advantage.
Yeah, right.
And then if you look deeper beyond that, we've got the host of support from different areas at Chemours. So there could be R&D support that we need. What's really prevalent these days is regulatory and compliance support for things like the PFAS legislations and a gazillion different certifications that we have to provide for the products to be used in Europe or in different environments. So if you're working with a low-end manufacturer, you're not going to get that support. I can tell you that right now. And Chemours has an infrastructure that can really readily and quickly provide support that a lot of people need on a very quick basis. So that comes along with being a premium product, and it's something that is, I think, pretty unique in the industry.
So we have some benefits, we have some challenges of Teflon being a premium price product. But let's bring this down to the real world. What if I am a coder and I quote a job with a Teflon solution and I get pushback about the price? Do you have any go-to phrases to use when that barrier gets thrown up?
Get used to a lot of downtime and short life cycles and your part getting coded over and over and over again, because if you're looking for a less expensive or cheaper option, that's what you're going to get.
If the problem they have could have been solved with a cheap solution, nylon epoxy or house paint, it would have been solved with that solution decades ago.
Yeah,
and
right.
we wouldn't be in this conversation right now. And so the reason that people use Teflon and the reason that people get to our sales team is because the problem's hard. So
Right.
if you want a simple solution, it's not going to solve your problem. So we have to look at something that's more advanced. So that's kind of one of my go-tos, is that kind of that thought process, because that times kind of knocks the edge off of people and puts them in the mindset of, okay, well, I do have a really hard problem, so I should be prepared to pay a little more for a more advanced solution. I think it's really important for our Teflon coders, our customer base, to do whatever they can to establish themselves as specialists and not generalists in applying coatings. So in this case, like Chris referenced earlier, just to be a Teflon coder, you're putting a lot more money into your equipment, into your infrastructure, into your expertise, into your people, and you don't want to compete with somebody who's spraying cheap powder in their garage. Like you don't want to be in those two worlds.
Right.
And if you're pricing to compete with them, you're pricing to go out of business. So we really want people to make sure that when they're dealing with prospects on their end, that they're establishing themselves as a specialist of high performance coating solutions, not paint or coating or something like that. So it's a big distinction. And if you can make sure that your prospect understands and puts you into that echelon of solution providers, the price should be irrelevant.
I would think somebody that does high-end coatings, like, to me, like a less expensive or cheaper option, like I feel like they can't live under the same roof to some extent, if you know what I mean. It's like, you're good at doing this specialist thing with this, high-end coating, but I would think it'd be hard to be on the flip side too and be like, okay, well, I can also, give you this, less expensive, kind of lesser option as well. But yeah, and we don't normally see that either, Mike. I mean, we don't see our in it for the long haul Teflon coders, dabbling in lesser options, if you know what I mean.
Right.
It's not their wheelhouse.
When you have a price increase, the easy thing to do when somebody presses you on the price is to be like, all right, let me see what I can do. Mm-hmm. And then we'll get a call being like, what can we do about the price? But until the conversation's had at their end to understand what the value is and to understand, is price really an issue? Because many times the cost of the coating is only 10 or 20% of the total cost of an applied coating to the part. So if our coating goes up 10% and that's only 10%, that's a 1% difference in total cost to the customer. So is it really that big of a deal, or is somebody making it a big deal because they don't want to accept a price increase because it's their job to not accept a price increase?
I think probably most of your customers know that they are specialists that spray Teflon, I think positioning themselves as specialists is an art form and always evolving. So the more they can do that on the front end, the fewer conversations they should have to have about race to the bottom pricing on the back end.
Francesca, when you think about a world where salespeople turn over and different people turn over in an organization, to really get comfortable with presenting and selling at a high level, you can't learn that in a year or 2 years or 3 years. That takes experience, it takes confidence, and it takes fortitude of, hey, we've got a solution that I actually know you're not going to get anywhere else. Like, not a lot, no rookie's going to come out with that line and sound legit.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Good episode, guys. I loved it. I think it's timely and it's relevant, and we're arming your customers with the kind of knowledge that they can use to better their business, which is what we're all about. Deliver.
Yep.
At the back end freestyling, man. It's just
I love it.
Just go off script next time.
Well, there you have it, guys. That's how to sell more Teflon coating jobs. You have to sell on the performance, not the price. All right, guys. Well, if anyone out there listening, our favorite viewers, our customers, our randos that just happen to see this and have some thoughts and opinions, if you have a topic you want us to cover, if you need help troubleshooting a coded part, or you want some advice on deciding which coating to choose between two options, send it our way. We will cover it. Thanks for watching Deliver More, and we will see you next time from Delaware.